Late one sleepless night, I found myself pacing along the shore of a darkened lake, its surface as still as glass under the pale moonlight. I'd spent years chasing external validations, praise from colleagues, approval from family, even the applause of strangers on social media, believing that if I could stack enough yeses around me, I would finally feel complete. But standing there, the chill air pressing against my skin, I realized I had been negotiating with the world instead of creating it. I was bargaining for scraps of approval, while the banquet of possibility lay hidden just beyond my own awareness. In that quiet moment, I closed my eyes and asked a simple question: what if I stopped treating life like a transaction and instead treated it like a canvas? What if I believed that my thoughts, my feelings, even the silent prayers I whispered under my breath, carried the power to paint my own reality? The wind carried the echo of my own breath back to me, and for the first time, I felt the weight of that question settle like fertile soil in the depths of my mind. I sensed that a shift was possible, not in the world outside, but in the world inside. When I opened my eyes, the lake had become a mirror reflecting the vastness of my own inner landscape. Each ripple suggested a thought, each tiny wave an emotion I had planted long ago. It struck me then that the world I experienced was nothing more than a reflection of the world I had already built within. If I wanted a new reality, I would have to become its architect, revising the blueprint page by page, thought by thought, until the hidden design revealed itself in my everyday life. Over the next hour and beyond, I'll share the step-by-step method that taught me how to stop chasing reflections and start commanding the mirror itself. You'll hear how to plant the seed of your ideal future, how to rehearse its unfolding with unshakable conviction, and how to live as if that future is already here, so that the laws of consciousness, like faithful editors, begin to cut away the old scenes and splice in the new. If you're ready to move from negotiation to creation, from reaction to response, then settle into this journey together. We'll open the door to a hidden dimension where your future isn't waiting for you. It's waiting on you. Most of us stumble through life convinced that the world owes us change, that if we could only tweak our circumstances, everything would fall into place. We wake each morning and face the mirror, hoping to see progress in our reflection, only to be confronted again by the same tired eyes and familiar lines. We scan our relationships for signs of a shift, plead with colleagues for recognition, or bargain with luck for one small break, never realizing the mirror only shows back what we've programmed into our own minds. Imagine standing in a pitch black room with a single mirror on the wall. You light a flashlight and train it on a cracked corner of the glass, convinced the mirror itself is flawed. Yet, when the beam moves, the flaw vanishes. Because the mirror merely reflects your light. In life, that flashlight is your attention and your emotions. Wherever you shine your mental energy, fear, frustration, hope, or gratitude, the world will reflect it back to you with mathematical precision. But there is another way. Instead of reacting to what the mirror shows, you can become the world's director. You can write the scene you wish to play, rewind the footage of old setbacks, and cut in fresh, vibrant frames of possibility. This is not a surrender to fantasy. It is the recognition that consciousness precedes form. When you respond from calm clarity, rather than react from conditioned reflex, the mirror begins to shift. Suddenly, you notice doors cracking open instead of slamming shut. pathways materializing in places where you once saw only walls. The trap of reaction is exhausting. It demands constant effort to push against currents that seem immutable. Creative living, by contrast, is elegantly simple. Hold a new image inside, then let reality rearrange itself around that image. You are no longer banging your head against the maze. You are discovering the hidden passage carved by the stillness of your own mind. This passage leads straight into the heart of possibility, where every impossible outcome is already waiting as a frequency ready to be tuned into. Today, I will teach you how to gather that inner light and direct it with precision. You'll learn to pause in the face of frustration, inhale with intention, and choose a different response, one that aligns with the reality you wish to inhabit. In doing so, you'll break the cycle of reactive living and step into the role of conscious creator. By the end of this section, you'll understand why the external world behaves like a mirror and how you can become the source that determines. We've been taught to see time as a straight line, a sequence of before and after, cause and effect marching forward like soldiers. Yet, if you pause and peer beneath that surface, you'll discover a far richer tapestry. Every possible future already exists in a vast, timeless field of potential. Think of moments not as points along a road, but as stations on a radio dial. Each station, each future broadcasts simultaneously, but your receiver only plays the one you've tuned into. Your present state of being is the dial. What you feel, think, and believe determines which frequency comes through as your lived reality. In our ordinary experience, time feels like coarse sand slipping through an hourglass. We shake the glass, hoping to speed things up, but only jostle the grains without changing the pattern of their descent. However, if you could reach inside and rearrange the grains themselves, you would alter the flow. This is exactly what accessing the hidden dimension entails. You don't push events to happen faster. You restructure the pattern of your consciousness so that the events you desire become the natural movement of your life. Imagine standing before that hourglass, but instead of working harder, you close your eyes and feel the sand settle into the shape of your chosen outcome. You sense the weight of each grain aligning beneath your fingertips, knowing that when you open your eyes, the glass will reflect the new arrangement you've envisioned. This is not wishful thinking. It is the precise law of reflection at work. The world you experience is a mirror of your dominant inner state. Shift that state, and the mirror must follow. In the hidden dimension, there is no past or future, only now. Every version of your life, from the most ordinary to the most extraordinary, is available in this eternal present. The limitations you perceive are not cosmic laws, but mental habits you've accepted uncritically. You've been trained to move forward by doing more and striving harder. Yet true transformation comes when you pause, change the station of your mind, and allow that new frequency to reverberate through your reality, to tune into a desired future. Begin by identifying the core feeling you want to inhabit. Do you want the calm certainty of a successful entrepreneur? The unshakable confidence of someone who knows their worth? Or the effortless joy of one who lives in alignment with purpose? Hold that feeling now, in this moment, so fully that your body and emotions register it as present truth. Let the sensation expand in your chest, ripple through your limbs, and saturate every cell. You have just sent the cause. Now trust that the external effect will echo it. Over the next few minutes, we'll treat your mind like a precision instrument, learning how to calibrate your internal dial, lock onto the station, where your dream reality is already broadcasting, and maintain that frequency even when the world around you hums with distractions. By mastering this process, you'll no longer be at the mercy of linear time. You'll be its composer, orchestrating the symphony of your own becoming. Inside each of us resides a silent duel, two distinct ways of experiencing reality. The first is the surface mind, practical, cautious, anchored in the evidence of your five senses. It demands proof before it believes, clings to the familiarity of the past, and resists anything it cannot measure or touch. This mind builds walls of certainty around you, yet it mistakes those walls for the boundary of possibility itself. In contrast, the visionary mind moves in the realm of imagination, vision, and infinite possibility. It doesn't wait for proof. It generates proof. It whispers that if you can conceive an idea deeply enough, feel it vibrate through your body, and trust its truth, then it can manifest. This mind knows how to pull threads of potential from the hidden dimension and weave them into the tapestry of your life. Even when the surface mind scoffs and demands empirical evidence. To illustrate, picture a castle with two towers perched atop a hill at twilight. The first tower is hewn from ancient stone, solid, fortified, guarded by fear and skepticism. Its battlements are patrolled by the surface mind, ever watchful for threats and quick to raise defenses. You may have lived your entire life within its shadow, convinced those stone walls were the edge of your world. Beside it stands the second tower, carved of pure light and vision. Its staircases shimmer into existence only when you trust your next step, and vanish again if doubt creeps in. This is the tower of the visionary mind. Inside, hallways glow with possibility, and doorways open onto vistas you've only dared to imagine. Most days, you patrol the stone fortress, checking for evidence, taking cautious steps that feel safe but confine you within familiar corridors. Yet the door to the light tower was never locked. It stood open, all along waiting for you to remember how to shift your allegiance. Learning to shift between these two towers is the beginning of true dimensional navigation. When you dwell in the surface mind, you reproduce the known. You remake yesterday over and over. When you dwell in the visionary mind, you design tomorrow before it materializes. Balancing these two aspects of yourself gives you the strength to hold a dream steady and the discernment to act wisely in the world. In the next section, we'll explore the precise mental technology that makes this shift possible, a practical process you can apply tonight to step from the stone into the light. This is not vague motivation or wishful thinking. It's a precise mental technology built on a few simple but powerful steps. First, you select a clear outcome. No half-hearted hopes or fuzzy desires. Define exactly what you intend to experience, as if you're writing the next scene in your life story. Picture the moment that naturally follows your success. The doors you walk through, the hands you shake, the words you speak when you've already achieved your goal. Once you've chosen that outcome, construct the scene in your mind with as much sensory detail as possible. Hear the tone of your own voice praising your accomplishment. Feel the texture of the awards in your hands, or the strength of the handshake you receive. Notice the subtle scents in the air, the crispness of fresh ink on signed contracts, the warmth of celebration candles. Immerse yourself in the exact conversation you'd have weeks after your triumph, as though the event is already part of your history. This process transforms "I hope this happens" into "I know this has happened." And that distinction is critical. The hidden dimension does not respond to longing. It responds to certainty. It doesn't care that your bank balance isn't yet 6 figures. It records that you have already lived the moment when you celebrate that milestone. By speaking your future into form in the theater of your mind, you send an unambiguous signal that the universe's reflective laws must echo next. Enter a state of quiet stillness, ideally just before sleep, when the surface mind softens. In that twilight space, between waking and dreaming, you don't observe the scene as a spectator. You step into it as a participant. Feel the weight of your body settling into the chair at your victory celebration. Hear the muted cheer of friends around you. Taste the celebratory toast on your tongue. Let your pulse synchronize with the emotion of having already arrived. Finally, release any attachment to timing or outcome. This isn't passive resignation. It's confident surrender. You've set the blueprint. Now, allow the deeper law of reflection to orchestrate the details. Trust that subtle shifts in your environment, chance conversations, unexpected ideas, new opportunities, are the unfolding evidence of your scene coming to life. Each event is a precise echo of the reality you rehearsed. Over time, this method becomes You no longer need elaborate visualizations. A brief return to your chosen scene is enough to recalibrate your state. You've impressed the blueprint so deeply into your consciousness that the hidden dimension responds automatically. The external world rearranges itself around the conviction you carry. Proof that this is neither magic nor coincidence, but the consistent law of consciousness in action. Your mind is the ultimate film editor, and your thoughts are the raw footage of your life. By default, most people hand over their uncut reels, scenes colored by old fears, regrets, and self-doubt, to the surface mind, allowing those unexamined beliefs to dictate every frame of their reality. The result is a looping montage of familiar disappointments, each clip reinforcing the same limiting storyline. But once you reclaim the editing controls, you can splice out what no longer serves you and weave in new scenes that propel you forward. To begin, imagine yourself seated in a dimly lit editing bay. Before you are 3 reels, one labeled Past Beliefs, another Present Reality, and the third, Future Possibilities. With deliberate intention, you lift the scissors of awareness and snip away the fragments stamped, "I can't," "Not enough," or "What if I fail?" You then tape in glowing frames of "I'm capable," "Abundance flows," and "Success is inevitable." Each cut, each splice, reshapes the narrative you broadcast into the hidden dimension. Yet beware the subconscious saboteur, the uninvited editor who slips black and white strips of doubt into your reel the moment you grow complacent. It whispers, "You're not ready," or "This won't last." When those negative frames appear, pause the projector, rewind to the last point of certainty, and re-splice in a scene saturated with confidence. Anchor yourself in the visceral feeling of triumph, the warmth in your chest, the steady breath, the gleam in your eyes, until the sabotage fades and the new edit holds firm. Mastering this editing process transforms you from a passive observer into an active creator. You learn to curate each thought, each emotion, as you would select the perfect shot for a film that will captivate millions. And as you refine your inner edits, cutting fear, amplifying clarity, you send a crystal clear file into the cosmic printer. In the next section, we'll explore the deeper law that faithfully projects your edited footage back into the world, and why impatience is the greatest glitch you must learn to avoid. What ancient wisdom called the law, modern science edges closer to confirming. Consciousness does not merely observe reality, it participates in constructing it. Imagine your mind as a cosmic printer. Every belief, every feeling, every unspoken assumption is a file you send to be rendered into form. If that file is riddled with typos, doubts, fears, I chance the page that emerges will bear those errors. But if the file is crisp with certainty, joy, and clarity, the printed reality will unfold flawlessly. This law is neither moral nor mystical. It simply reflects back the state you embody. You needn't earn its favor or atone for past mistakes. You need only revise the inner blueprint you broadcast. When impatience creeps in and you demand, "Why hasn't it arrived yet?" you inject a contradictory command into the print job, cluttering the output with more delay. Instead, trust the process. Once you've sent a clear, embodied file, shift your role from editor to observer. Notice the subtle signs, a chance conversation that sparks inspiration, a serendipitous email, a sudden idea that lights your mind. These are the soft whir of the printer at work, aligning external events with your internal design. Patience in this context is not passive resignation, but confident surrender. You have sent the blueprint. Now allow the law of reflection to orchestrate the details. Release the need for exact timing, and recognize that small, consistent shifts compound into dramatic change. With each proofread of your inner file, catching a doubt, reinstating conviction, you sharpen the signal the universe must echo. In mastering this law, you transform from a frantic demander into a calm designer, knowing that reality will mirror precisely what you have already chosen in your mind. Accessing the hidden dimension is not a one-time experiment. It's a lifestyle. Once you've rehearsed your desired scene, you must live from that state continuously. Think of each day as a movie premiere of your own making, where every thought, feeling, and choice is a ticket purchase that casts a vote in the hidden realm. Those who succeed effortlessly maintain unwavering allegiance to their chosen character, while those who struggle flip between scripts and lose continuity. Begin each morning with a brief inner check. Notice the first thoughts that rise, the tone of your self-talk, the emotions coloring your outlook. If you sense hesitation or fear, pause, breathe, and replay your victory scene in rich detail. Feel the applause, smell the champagne, taste the triumph. Carry that resonance into your next moment. Throughout your day, you'll encounter stressors, urgent emails, critical feedback, unexpected obstacles. When old patterns tug at you, step aside for 30 seconds, close your eyes, and reconnect with the felt certainty of your chosen reality. This micro reset realigns your internal state so that your outer actions continue to echo the vision you crafted. Over time, this practice becomes effortless. You no longer need elaborate visualizations. A quick mental alignment before a meeting or challenge is enough to keep you on track. Your default setting shifts to a state of possibility, and life unfolds as an echo of who you are being. You move through moments with creativity, ease, and confidence, drawing toward you the opportunities and people who resonate with your new frequency. In this way, living the rehearsal becomes your most powerful creative tool. Now you stand at the crossroads of every moment to react to the mirror of your current world, or to respond from the place you've already chosen in your mind. One path loops you back into cause and effect, wandering through familiar cycles. The other grants you the power to create cause and command effect, stepping into a new timeline where your future is already alive. This is not escape, it is alignment. You are not fleeing reality, but discovering how it truly unfolds. Ask yourself continually, what state of being am I projecting right now? If the answer tastes small or fearful, pause and shift to the version of yourself who already holds the reality you desire. Feel it in your body, think it in your mind, speak it with conviction. Tonight, before sleep, close your eyes and select your future once more. Rehearse the scene of your triumph as the protagonist. Immerse yourself in every detail until the sensation saturates your consciousness. Remember, you do not have to earn the right to shape your future. You were born to. The hidden dimension lives in the stillest space within you, not in distant realms. Your task is simple. Remember who you already are in that higher realm, and let the world mirror your truth. Step into your future now, and watch everything align with mathematical certainty. The moment of transformation is here. Choose to become, and the universe will respond. As you rise tomorrow, carry with you the truth you've rehearsed tonight. Reality does not outpace your inner conviction. It mirrors it. Each thought you allow, each emotion you nurture, and each choice you make is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. You need not wait for perfect conditions or distant signs. The hidden dimension you seek lives in the stillness you cultivate right now. Begin your morning with a simple ritual. Place one hand over your heart, inhale deeply, and silently affirm, I am the architect of my reality. Feel the words resonate through your body, anchoring you in the frequency of your chosen future. As you move through your day, return to that state whenever you sense doubt or distraction. A 5-second pause, a mindful breath, and a quick mental replay of your victory scene is all it takes to realign. Over the coming week, notice how small, consistent shifts compound. Watch how conversations veer toward opportunity, how doors you never saw appear, how challenges transform into invitations for growth. Keep a small journal by your side and jot down these echoes of your inner work. They are proof that the hidden dimension is alive and responsive. You were born to create, not to chase. The power to shape your tomorrow lies not in external strategies, but in the steady cultivation of who you choose to be right now. Step forward with confidence. Speak your future into form through lived experience, and trust the mathematical certainty of conscious alignment. Thank you for joining me on this journey behind the veil of ordinary time. If this resonated, hit subscribe and share your story in the comments. Let's build a community of committed creators. Remember, the moment to become is always now. Go forth, step into your future, and watch as the world rearranges itself to reflect the masterpiece you carry within.